So I have a friend that's fat. Fatter than me, if you believe it. This double-chinned monster in front of you is a portion, just a tiny sliver of how fat this guy is. He is overweight obese. Double O. Can't get out of it, man. He's got the ZO for weight because that's unhealthy, and it's so unhealthy that it is ZO for health score, with 0 being nothing. It's double the nothingness. What's my point in making a video about this guy? It's not to shame fat people, or because I consider myself fat, because I am. You know, I'm kind of a fat guy. But I was just thinking with him, look, if I was on a desert island with him, I could feast. I was thinking with him, I mean, you know, and so this is fatiphobia. There's no question it is. But if I was on an island with him, I could use the blubber to send up a smoke signal to get off the island. Or I don't know if fat floats, but wouldn't I could float him like a boat. So that's a fatness you do not want to get to. That's obese, and obesity is actually bad and unhealthy. But nevertheless, we shouldn't eat and kill and make boats out of fat people just because we're stuck on a desert island. It would be incredibly difficult for me to kill him, even though my life would be at stake. Is it self-defense when you kill somebody for the food that they provide at a time when starvation is a concern of yours? It's not that self-defense-y. It's much more murdery than self-defense-y. There's a scale between murder and self-defense, and it's somewhere closer to murder than, you know, the other way around. But here's what the thought behind this video is, because again, I'm uncomfortable with everything about this. I don't criticize people for how much they weigh. I just don't. It's not the kind of person I am. And here comes the but. But he's also just a dude. And it's no fault of his own, but he's black. So he speaks English in a different way than I'm used to. For instance, he said, "Mine's doesn't do that like hers do." Mine's doesn't do that like hers do. Well, first off, it should be mine doesn't do stuff like hers does. So it's just a mistake. It's a grammatical mistake. From a certain perspective, it's just a whoops, not a big deal. But if I had to kill him so I could eat him, I would bring that up in my mind. And that kind of makes me a little racial. I don't want to be at all. I don't want to kill him. Like, I mean, the whole thing's hypothetical. So why bring up that hypothetical thing? It is just to make a point. When you make mistakes, even if they are grammatical, you run the risk of violence. Because people that normally would never do violence can think of the mistake and negate your humanity. Ignore that you're human because you're just a person that makes this mistake. That's possible for people, and of course for psychopaths it's much more possible. But for regular people even, you would have to remind yourself over and over that that's the bad thing he does. But if you are in need of food, it gets much easier to kill. It becomes at some point, especially if the person that you're killing is immune to being hungry. And you can see that. They just work the fat off and they never grow skinny and they never run out of weight. Of course, if you didn't eat for weeks and weeks at all, it wouldn't matter how fat you are. You would die, most likely, because the energy of digestion, I'm just guessing, is a bi-weekly necessity. That's my guess. I'm not a doctor. Obviously, I'm nobody, and I shouldn't even make this point. So ignore me. I'm fatiphobic, and I'm sorry to waste your time. Have a good day. Goodbye.